How do you align your learning and development efforts with the organization's overall goal so that you can tell if you're even having an impact? Creating a learning strategy is the simple answer, but where do you even begin? There's a three-step process that I follow to create a learning strategy with my clients. First is assessing the organization and the audience and a whole bunch of factors. Second is creating recommendations. And third is the implementation plan. After the plan comes the multi-year implementation itself. So I want to just look at that first step, assess, and dive in just a little bit into kind of how I get started with that. And usually the client sends me their strategy document. So if they've recently done a business strategy or updated it, send me that and I can go through that to make sure I understand where the organization is headed. Also, I review their mission, vision, values, competencies, if they have them, leadership competencies, especially to get an insight and understand their culture a little bit. And then through conversations with my clients or with different stakeholders to discuss the goals for the learning and development function and how that function can support the organization's strategy. After this assessment, I work with the client to create recommendations and an implementation plan that are going to support those goals. And I know that this is pretty high level. I'll touch on the other steps in the process in later posts, and I'll also touch on the other areas that I assess. I hinted at them at the beginning, but I don't just look at the strategy documents. I look at the environment and other things as well. So stay tuned, and I hope this gives you a starting point at least for figuring out how can you align your function, the learning efforts, with the organization's goals so that ultimately you can measure if you're making a difference or not.